Neka was the most beautiful girl in Umuoma village. Her eyes shone like the morning sun, and her smile could calm even the angriest man. But what made her different was her kindness. She would greet strangers, help old women carry firewood, and even feed stray dogs that wandered near her father's compound. One day, a tall, well-dressed man drove into the village in a shiny black Jeep. His name was Emeka, a businessman from the city. People whispered that he was rich. The moment his eyes landed on Neka, he smiled like he had found treasure. Emeka wasted no time. That evening, he visited Neka's father with palm wine and expensive drinks. "Sir, I have come to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage," he said politely. Everyone in the room gasped. No one expected a rich man to notice a village girl so quickly. Neka's parents were shocked but happy. They called Neka to hear the news. She stood shyly in the doorway. "Neka," her father said, "this man wants to marry you." Neka's heart raced. She had never seen a man like Emeka before, but something in his eyes felt strange. Within 2 weeks, a grand traditional wedding took place. There was drumming, dancing, and plenty of food. Emeka's friends from the city brought gifts: gold earrings, lace wrappers, and perfume. Neka felt lucky, even though she still didn't know much about her husband. After the wedding, Emeka took Neka to his house in the city. The house was huge, with tall gates, shiny floors, and rooms bigger than her father's whole compound. But what surprised Neka most was the backyard. 5 large, muscular dogs barked behind a tall metal fence. "These are my babies," Emeka said proudly. He patted the biggest one, a black Rottweiler named Bruno. Neka smiled nervously. She liked dogs, but she had never seen such large and fierce ones before. From the first night, Neka noticed something odd. Emeka spent more time with his dogs than with her. He would feed them himself, brush their fur, and even talk to them as if they were human. Sometimes he ignored her completely to sit outside with them. One night, Neka heard Emeka talking on the phone. She hid behind the door. "Yes," he whispered. "Now that I have her, the dogs will be happy. She will be the perfect one to take care of them when I'm away." Neka's heart froze. So he married me for his dogs? The next morning, Emeka handed her a long list of rules. "Rule 1, he said, never let my dogs go hungry. Rule 2, walk them twice a day. Rule 3, no one else touches them except you." Neka was confused but nodded. Days turned into weeks, and Neka's life became all about the dogs. She bathed them, cooked special meat for them, and cleaned their cages. If she made a mistake, Emeka would shout at her. One day, while walking the dogs, a stranger approached her. He wore a black cap and spoke in a low voice. "Be careful," he said. "Those dogs are not normal." Before Neka could ask more, he walked away quickly. That night, she lay awake thinking, why would someone say the dogs weren't normal? She decided to watch them closely. Soon, she noticed strange things. The dogs seemed to understand every word Emeka said. Sometimes at night, she heard low growls and scratching at the back door, as if they wanted to get inside the house. One rainy evening, Emeka traveled for business and left her alone with the dogs. She locked the gates and went to sleep, but at midnight she heard heavy footsteps in the hallway. Her heart pounded. It can't be, the doors are locked. She grabbed a torchlight and tiptoed to the living room. There, standing on 2 legs like humans, were the dogs, only they were not fully dogs anymore. Their eyes glowed red and their teeth looked sharper than before. Neka froze in fear. The biggest one, Bruno, stepped forward. "You belong to us now," he said in a deep, rumbling voice. She screamed, dropping the torch. When she opened her eyes again,
the dogs were gone, and the room was silent. Was it a dream? She wondered. But the paw prints on the floor were wet and real. The next morning, she confronted Emeka when he returned. "What are those dogs?" she demanded. Emeka's face darkened. "Never ask me that again if you want to stay alive," he warned. Fear gripped Neka, but she was determined to find the truth. She visited the stranger who had warned her earlier. His name was Okechukwu. A former security guard who once worked for Emeka Okechukwu looked around nervously before speaking. "Those dogs, they are not ordinary. They are Ogbanje spirits trapped in animal bodies. Emeka made a deal with them years ago to gain wealth. But the spirits demanded something in return. A human caretaker they could control." Neka's stomach twisted. "So, he married me just so I could take care of them?" she asked, her voice shaking. Okechukwu nodded slowly. You must leave that house. The longer you stay, the more power they will have over you. But leaving was not simple. Emeka had locked her in with tall gates, and the dogs guarded every entrance. She would need a plan. For days, she pretended everything was normal. Feeding the dogs, smiling at Emeka, acting like a perfect wife. But secretly, she hid small scraps of cooked meat in her wrapper pocket. One night, while Emeka was asleep, she opened the gate slightly and threw the meat far down the road. The dogs, smelling the aroma, chased after it. That was her chance. She ran to Okechukwu's house, her wrapper flying behind her. They're gone for now, she gasped. Help me! Okechukwu quickly hid her in a small back room. By morning, the news had spread. Emeka was furious. He stormed into Okechukwu's compound, shouting, Where is my wife? But Okechukwu stood firm. She is under my protection. If you want her, you must face the elders. The elders gathered in the village square. Emeka tried to deny everything, but an old woman named Mama Ugo spoke up. I warned you years ago, Emeka. You cannot feed wealth with evil and expect peace. As the sun set, the elders decided on a test. If the dogs were truly normal, they would walk calmly into the square. But when Emeka brought them, the dogs growled, their eyes glowing red. The crowd screamed and scattered. The elders began to chant prayers, and the village priest sprinkled holy water on the dogs. They howled in pain and started shrinking until they disappeared into thin air. Emeka fell to his knees, begging for forgiveness. But the elders ordered him to leave the village and never return. Nneka, shaken but safe, wept as Okechukwu held her shoulder. In the weeks that followed, Nneka slowly healed. She returned to her parents, who welcomed her with open arms. But she could not forget the strange voices of the dogs or the way they had stared at her like prey. One evening, Okechukwu visited. Nneka, he said gently, you are stronger than you think. You fought evil and survived. Now it's time to live your life. They began spending more time together, fetching water, cooking at the streamside, and laughing under the moonlight. Slowly, Nneka's heart began to trust again. Months later, during the New Yam Festival, Okechukwu surprised her. In front of the whole village, he held out a calabash of palm wine. Nneka, will you be my wife? Not for wealth, not for power, but for love? Tears filled her eyes. Yes, Okechukwu, I will. The crowd erupted in cheers. Drums beat and the dance began. This time, Nneka entered marriage with joy and without fear. Okechukwu built her a small but beautiful home, where laughter and peace replaced the shadows of the past. Sometimes when she walked past a barking dog, her heart skipped. But then she would remember the elders' prayers and smile, knowing the spirits could never touch her again. And so, Nneka's life became a lesson in Umoma village. That beauty is not for sale, and love is not for selfish gain. People still told the story at moonlight gatherings. Remember Nneka, the children would say, the woman whose husband married her for his dogs, but who escaped and found true love. Whenever Nneka heard those stories, she would hold Okechukwu's hand and whisper, we are stronger than any evil. He would nod, smiling. The village grew. Children played freely, and peace reigned. Nneka often fed the small village dogs, but only those who wagged their tails with pure hearts. She never saw Emeka again, though sometimes traders brought whispers of a lonely man wandering from place to place, without wealth or friends. Nneka did not hate him. She simply prayed he would one day learn that no spirit, no wealth, no dog could ever replace real love. And so, Nneka lived happily, free from fear, safe in love, and forever remembered as the woman who refused to be owned by dogs.
Thank you so much for listening to today's enchanting story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more magical tales that spark your imagination. Every story is a door to a new adventure, and I'm so glad you walked through it with me today. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep dreaming big. Until next time, keep the magic alive in your heart. I'll see you again soon for another wonderful story. Bye for now.